The State Department announced Wednesday that it would give $32 million to help Rohingya Muslim refugees. Hundreds of thousands of them have fled Myanmar for Bangladesh after the military began a violent crackdown against the Rohingya following a militant attack last month. Cindy Huang is a former State Department official and a senior policy fellow at the Center for Global Development. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So, first question is, do you think this kind of persecution of the Rohingya is new?
No, it's really not new. Unfortunately, the Rohingya have been consistently denied their rights, and increasingly so over time.
And so, why is this continuing? Why doesn't seem to be a solution to this issue?
Well, I think most of all, these are often crises of political leadership. So what we're seeing is leaders like Aung San Suu Kyi and the military leadership, they're not acting responsibly, and therefore the international community really needs to speak up further.
So a majority of the money that the U.S. has been giving to aid the crisis is going to Bangladesh. How does a mass influx of refugees impact countries like Bangladesh?
Yeah, it can be extremely destabilizing, and what's important, especially in this context, is that the people of Bangladesh themselves are very vulnerable with high rates of poverty and malnutrition. So what we really need to do is make sure that as we respond and address the urgent needs, that we're also have an eye out for the Bangladeshis as well.
And how are they able to sort of handle this influx? I mean, this is hundreds of thousands of people that are coming into this country. Are they able to handle this, or is it just, is it like trying to catch a deluge in a cup?
Yeah, I mean, it is really hard, and that's why we need, you mentioned the 32 million, but we actually need a lot more in terms of resources and logistical help.
Early this week, Myanmar's leader, who, by the way, is a Nobel Peace Prize winner, said her country doesn't fear international scrutiny of all of this. Some critics have described what the military is doing as ethnic cleansing. Do you think enough was done by the crisis, on the crisis by Myanmar's leader?
No, I mean, I don't think enough has been done to make sure that there wasn't that disproportionate response to the attacks on August 25th, and more needs to come to help the situation.
What about other world leaders? Are they doing enough this week or recently to deal with all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer is clearly no. You see, for example, that some countries are actually stepping back from some of the commitments that they've made. So on all fronts, we need to do more. And I think it's, you mentioned the number of people, hundreds of thousands of people, and you think about just a fraction of that going to Europe and the panic that ensued. So we really do have to support these countries, given the numbers of refugees that they're seeing.
Now, you wrote a report in which, with the Tent Foundation, in which you say the private sector can help this growing refugee crisis. What are some ways they can do that, and why would global companies want to get involved in something this messy?
Yeah, and I actually just came from the launch event where we had CEOs of Airbnb, Unilever, and Chobani talking about what they can do. I think first and foremost, our point is that companies, they can help their business while helping refugees, for example, by hiring them and supplying from them.
Cindy Huang, thank you for joining us. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks so much.